Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you had a good lunch and enjoyed it as well as I did. I'm very happy to be here today and present a few, or actually one use case of Veeting. We are going to have a live demo with Sydney, and we tested it before. It seems to all work fine. Before we jump into the live demo, here is actually the agenda. So the live demo with Interprefy. If time permits, we'll also talk about the second application use case, and then very briefly about our RestcommONE integration. But first, what is Veeting? Some of you might know Veeting. Veeting stands for Virtual Meeting, and we provide a virtual meeting room, 100% WebRTC based. We focus on usability and efficiency, so no bells and whistles. Our main market nowadays is OEM, so we provide white label versions for telecom resellers, but also into verticals. And we are users of API platforms, so we have one version that sits on top of the RestcommONE platform. We also sit on other platforms, so we are users of CPaaS platforms, and at the same time we also provide APIs and SDKs for others to integrate us and expand us into specific use cases. And one of the use cases I'm going to showcase now, it's Interprefy. It's a Swiss company, and they provide remote interpretation. But I leave everything to Andre. He's in Sydney right now, and we are going to join the meeting room. So this is a standard virtual meeting room of Veeting. It's a branded version, branded with Interprefy brand. And there is just one thing special down here, which other meeting rooms don't have. We have different language channels. So here I'm going to join English so that we all understand what we are speaking about. And I'm going to join the room. Andre? I hope he didn't went for a coffee just now. Andre? He's refreshing the browser. I'm sure he's coming in just in a second. In the meantime, while we wait for Andre, I also know in Sydney they have some issues with internet connection, and he's using his 4G. And if we have bad luck, he uses, oh no, maybe. Hey, Andre.
Yes, hello. Hi.
So I have already introduced very briefly Interprefy, but I want to thank you very much for attending so late in the night. You see the audience, half of it is already back from lunch, and I would like to give you the floor so that you can explain what Interprefy is and what you're doing.
Okay, absolutely. So thanks a lot, Fabian, for introduction, and I just wanted to hello, everyone. I just want to let you know that I'm currently on a mobile hotspot and I'm traveling, so I'm in Sydney, Australia. So there might be some possible glitches due to internet connection, but I hope it works out fine. And I'm a CTO. My name is Andrzej Shukin. I'm a CTO for Interprefy AG, and we're a Swiss-based company which provides a platform for simultaneous interpretation. So I'm going to share a few slides with you. So I'm going to go to documents right now. And I guess Fabian,
we see them.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So we provide a platform for simultaneous interpretation. So what is it? Basically, if you run an event or a meeting and the speaker speaks a different language from the audience, so you can see here we've got on event location, we have the speaker and the audience. Let's say the speaker speaks Portuguese, but people do not understand. Instead of putting the booths in and bringing interpreters on site, you can actually use our platform, and interpreters can be remote, and audience can use either smartphones or tablets or laptops and listen to interpretation. So we have language service providers which use our platform, and we provide technical support as well to allow people to set up meetings with interpretation. So we do have several products, right? We focus quite heavily on conferences, or we did focus in the beginning. We have event management interfaces for to manage the events and schedule events, moderate interface for more event monitoring, interpret interfaces, and so on. But what we demo now is Interprify Meet, where we took the Veeting platform, and together with Veeting, we created an add-on for it, which allows people to choose language, and it can be used for interpreted meetings. So if we have a situation where some people meet and they speak different languages, for example, I go into a meeting and I select English, and I will only hear English speakers on that conference meeting, on that conference call. Plus, I will hear an interpreter who speaks English. And if I select German, I only hear German speakers. So maybe, Fabian, we can demo it quickly. I was thinking I could switch to German now, and you could switch to German a bit later.
Perfect.
Okay. So currently I speak English, but now let's imagine I'm a German speaker, so I will go to German room, and hopefully you will stop hearing me.
So now he's speaking German, but we don't hear him anymore. If there was a real interpreter now here, we would actually hear the interpreter's voice. But for this demo, we didn't engage a real interpreter. But down here, we have the language channels. So now I'm going to switch over to German as well, and we are going to hear him.
So tell me if I...
Yeah, so now we are hearing German. So now it comes to Deutsch.
Okay. So if there would be another person in the German room, I would hear them. And of course, there can be also interpreter now, other platform, and he can speak, in which case I would hear him as well. So we split different channels, and this is how the meetings with interpretation are done. So basically, we do plan to use this platform a lot for smaller meetings, not in a conference environment, but business meetings, some maybe marketing focus groups and things like that. So that's about it, about the short demo. We just saw that with Veeting, we can provide very valuable features to our clients, like whiteboard or document sharing, as you see now. Yes, exactly. You can also draw on the presentations, and I can draw something here as well. And so we've got whiteboard as well. And by integrating interpretation, we can actually reach more clients now.
Thank you very much, Andre. Wish you good night. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
So this was a quick interpretation or a quick presentation of Interprify as well as Veeting. We spoke here, I wanted to speak about one kind of challenge that we have at Veeting. So we have many white label customers with many different requirements. And this was one particular one with different language channels. This is just one use case. We have video going to, we use channels at Veeting as a WebRTC gateway. We love channels. It's a very good open source WebRTC gateway. But for them, we also needed to connect to OpenTalk. So in this meeting, the one that we just joined, we actually connected to two platforms at the same time, and the interpreter would then connect to OpenTalk as well. So this is just one use case, but as you all know, in projects like this is how actually the whole solution looks like. So there are many different use cases with interpreters being present, being somewhere else. So, and our challenge was not implementing this, but our challenge was how do we implement it so that we can maintain this solution together with the 20, 30 other white label solutions which also have very specific use cases. There was one I quickly wanted to explain here, that's DLS Internet Services. It's a virtual and hosted PBX and networking solutions provider in Chicago. They also white labeled our solution, and their very specific need, it's an asterisk shop. This is how it looks like for them. You can recognize Veeting here. But their very specific need was that they have hundreds of asterisks running. For each client, they have their own asterisk, whether it's physical box or virtual machines, and then they have one DLS meeting or Veeting installation. And through that customer portal, their customers then assign DIDs to a meeting room, they schedule meetings. So again, here our task was to build a system around our core product to actually connect to all these different asterisks and knowing when to connect to which asterisk. There's another solution, and that's why I'm here, and thanks very much to Telestax for making this happen. Telestax Meeting. This is a Veeting installation that actually connects to the RestcommONE platform and is seamlessly integrated into the RestcommONE platform and uses their telephony backend and network. So again, in the past 10 minutes, we have seen 3 different white labels connecting to 3 different platforms. And we all need to maintain this. And this is kind of what we do, the architecture from a very high level. So we have a core Veeting platform. We have lots of white labels sitting on top. And then we have connectors, APIs, and webhooks that allow us to, through configuration, connect to different backends and also to enable and disable different features. So we have one core product, and then depending on how you configure it, you have a different outcome, connecting to one platform or the other, and even providing multiple language channels. I think that was my very short presentation. If you want to learn more about Veeting, you can go to our website. I have to leave just right now, but if you want to learn more, you can also talk to any Telestax person here. They know, Greg, Kevin, they know all about Veeting. So thank you very much.
Excellent, Fabian. Well done in keeping us back onto time. So we have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions before we move to the next presentation. Do we have any questions from the audience? Okay, just hang on a sec. Let me just pass you the mic so everybody can hear you.
Thank you. Hi. Great presentation. Thank you. So I only have one question. Have you encountered any use cases where you integrated with something like Skype or other meeting or conferencing solutions?
Not as such. We connect to a via conference platform, but Skype not. I'm not aware of that they have any public or open APIs that we could use.
Okay.
But we would be very open to that if there is a possibility, technical possibility to do so.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Oh.
Hello. From the endpoint in the conference like this, the hardware, do you need the specific conference hardware for the video conference, or can you use a normal mobile phone?
You mean, do you talk about the specific interpreted use case or just Veeting as such?
Yeah, for the interpretive part.
I mean, as an attendee, you only need any device that you already have, be it a mobile phone or be it your laptop. So you don't need any specifics. In a conference like this, usually the interpreters, they are still in the back, in the booth. They have specific hardware which they are used to use. And then you connect the laptop to that hardware, and that streams, the audio streams over IP. If the interpreters are in the room, it's just a local network. If the interpreters are remote, then it streams the original voice to the interpreters, and then the language channels back to the audience.
Excellent. Any other questions? If not, just a quick one from me. Speak in front of the mic. Speaker. What are the sort of business models you set up with your service? Is it revenue share? Do you have like a sort of a fee-based model? Just interested in how you basically make money.
Yes. So we work with resellers and distributors. So these are classical reseller license agreements that we have.
Cool. That's clear. Excellent. Again, a round of applause for a great presentation from Fabian.
Thank you.